Hey everybody, hope everybody's enjoying their day today. Getting ready to do day 3 of virtual online classes for Central Park Yoga here in Sterling, Illinois. If you're just now turning in to these videos, a couple things. I am accepting donations for these classes via PayPal or Venmo. If you do not have a PayPal or a Venmo account, reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to send you an invoice that you can pay through my Square account via credit or debit card. So anything at this point to help the studio space. So I'm located here in Sterling, Illinois, and all of my in-person classes are not able to be held, clearly, but just about everything can't be held in person right now. So I'm pretty much relying solely on donations from these videos to keep the doors going, to make it through this time. I know everybody is experiencing a lot of the same stuff. So I just want to let everybody know, sending lots of love and light, praying for all that are affected, which is pretty much all of humankind. So definitely thinking of students, of family, of teachers that have helped me along this journey, sending you so much love and praying that everyone remains healthy and safe at this point. So today I'm not going to work through, I'm trying to make these online classes a little bit more simplified, a little bit more based on meditation and breath work, because I feel like that's what's really needed right now, is for us to have a way to calm down the panic, to calm down the mind, and some time to just reflect on how we're doing, and listening to what our body needs for self-care. So for today's practice, I have my mat here. If you don't have a yoga mat, maybe use a towel. Those seem to work fairly well. I do have a yoga bolster here, which is this. If you don't have a yoga bolster, maybe just use a couple pillows instead of that. And then I also have some blocks. Okay, these are cork blocks that I use at the studio from Manduka. I do have 2 of those with me today, so if you have a couple blocks, have them close to you. And if you do not have blocks, maybe find a couple really thick books, hardcover books. Those should work perfectly fine. So if you need to pause me, go right ahead before we get started, and allow yourself to just get set up. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna start in a supported child's pose for practice today. So take your pillows or your bolster and have it long ways, and we're gonna scooch it very close to the body. Take your knees out wide and let your toes come together. Now we're gonna let our hips rest back and scooch your pillow or bolster very close to the body, like right up by your pelvis. And then we're just gonna rest the body down. Now if you're like me and you have glasses, maybe take them off for now and just set them off to the side, and just let your body rest down. The arms can just be however they're comfortable. You don't have to reach them all the way out like this. Just maybe keep them bent, whatever feels good on the body. And maybe allow the eyes to shut. And just take some time to start to relax and settle the body against your pillow or your bolster. Allow it to support you. Just let the body relax. Start to bring some attention to the breath. Maybe just start to lengthen the breath out a bit, allowing it to work in and out through your nose. As you start to lengthen the breath, try to inhale deep enough so that we're filling up our lungs all the way. Release any tension in your shoulders, in your arms, your hands and your fingers. Notice the muscles of your face and just let everything start to soften and relax. So a lot of us tend to hold tension in our jaw. This seems to be a really tough spot for me. So just allow the jaw space to unclench, let it release. Allow the forehead to soften. Rest the muscles around your eyes. And again, bring attention to your breathing. Filling up on the inhales, extending your exhales. If we have our head turned off to one side, like you see mine, just allow yourself to turn your head to the opposite side. So bringing stretch into the opposite side of the neck. And try to breathe deep enough so that you feel your low back expand right by your kidneys when you're breathing in. We're starting to engage what we call in yoga the Ujjayi Pranayama. So we should just kind of let our tongue float in the mouth, maybe float it up so that it touches the roof of your mouth gently. Restrict your throat space slightly. And just sink into the breath. The inhales, you'll feel the rise of the torso. They'll move from the low belly to your ribs. And finally up around the heart. And as we exhale, let's try to release the exhale in the opposite direction. And right at the end of the exhale, allow your navel, your belly button, to draw in and then up, engaging our core body as well as the pelvic floor. Start to notice how the body responds to the breathing. Has the mind started to feel a little bit more calm? It should be. And the body should start to feel a little bit more relaxed. We're going to start to bring movement in of the physical body and weaving it into our pranayama, our breath. But before we do that, maybe take a moment to root your mind on something specific, or what I like to call an intention, an affirmation. It just helps me to have something to kind of come back to when my mind starts to wander. In the practice, we call this mind chatter, or the vrittis in yoga. Maybe it's a goal we're trying to reach, or a prayer we're sending out to the world, to our families, to ourselves. Maybe the intention today is simply, I am safe. Once you have that intention figured out in the mind, breathing in into the soul. So take a nice long inhale. And just let that intention fill you up. Your mind, your physical body, the heart, the torso, the legs, and the arms. We can almost imagine the body kind of radiating our intention from an energy aspect. Keeping that breath still flowing as it is. Let's take a moment here and start to just slowly bring up the body. So you could just bring your hands flat to the mat. We'll inhale, lift the body up. And let's come around to our seat. So you can use your pillow or your bolster to help you prop yourself up. It's just going to allow tight hips to be a little bit more relaxed and our knees to release as well. Letting our hands just place down on the knees, take your shoulders and open them, peel them down and back. Feel the Anahata chakra, or the heart center, the heart location, just kind of open. So opening up through that space, and just take a breath. As you come to an exhale, let's drop our left ear towards the left shoulder. We don't want the shoulder to come up. We want it to stay relaxed. This space from your ear, probably all the way down to the shoulder, is a really tight spot for a ton of people, myself included. So let's just breathe here. And then just start to circle your head. Bringing warmth through our neck. Maybe feeling it a little bit in the shoulders. Remember to continue to breathe. Finding an inhale, let's lift our head to center. And we'll exhale, right ear towards right shoulder. And then circle the head opposite direction. Find your inhale, lift your head up to center. Take a nice full exhale. On our next inhale, let's reach our arms all the way up towards the sky. Find your exhale and let your left hand come down. You could maybe set it on your bolster. If you can reach your mat, that's fantastic. If not, don't worry about it. But let's inhale. And when we exhale, we're just going to lean towards the left side. Now, what I want you to focus on is keeping our right sit bone still rooted in, really getting the stretch through our right side body. Continuing to breathe. And let's inhale, reaching both arms up. As you exhale, let the right hand come down. Inhale, lengthen out through your spine. And as we exhale, we'll lean towards the right. Remember, keep the left sit bone rooted in. Think about breathing and filling your left lung. Check in with your jaw here. Is there tension creeping back in? If so, just loosen up that space. Let's inhale, reaching up. Let's find an exhale and let our hands come to Anjali Mudra, into prayer. Take a moment, pause here. Remember that intention you've set. And we'll move off of our seat. Take your pillow or your bolster. Let's just go ahead and set that off to the side. Okay? Find yourself on all fours. So alignment here, we want our wrists below shoulders, knees below our hips. The feet can remain untucked. Something I want you to be mindful of is your wrists. So a lot of people like to dump into our wrist space. Let's try to spread our fingers and push into the pads of our fingers a bit to lighten the load on the wrists. Lengthen from your tailbone through the crown of your head. And let's work through some cat and cow. So as we inhale, tailbone comes up, spine drops, and the head lifts. When we exhale, working into cat. So tucking tailbone, reverse the movement of the spine, and then tuck the chin in. Inhale, work back to your cow. And exhale to the cat. Now move with your breathing. So just flowing back and forth. Maybe close your eyes here if you're comfortable. Feel the opening coming through the vertebrae of the spine. Feel the shoulders and the heart center open here, as well as your neck. One more set. And we'll inhale, let's find a neutral spine. Let's just take an exhale, forming a C shape over that body. So we'll look to the right side. And on our inhale, finding our side. Exhale to your left. And inhale, finding center. Exhaling back to right. Inhale to center. Exhale to left. And let's inhale, centering back in. Let's stretch out our feet. So go ahead and tuck your toes. Scooch up a little bit so you can see my feet. So tucking our toes in, you're gonna draw the hips back, very similar to the movement of child's pose with the low half. And we're gonna bring our forearms to our mat. Now just let your head and your neck relax. Loosen up through your shoulders. Taking a few moments to send love and breath into the feet. Remember, they do carry us through life. A lot of times we forget about our feet. Okay, so stretching into that space. A few more deep breaths here. Remembering Ujjayi Pranayama, the yogic breath. Okay, inhale, let's rise up. Untuck your toes. Find your pillow or your bolster. I'm gonna face you for this part. So take your bolster, we're gonna sit on it. So we're gonna come up on our knees. Our legs are gonna be straight back. Bring the pillow or bolster between the legs. It's just gonna help you not be so uncomfortable through the knee space. And then just sit back on it. Take those shoulders, open them up, shining through the heart space. Find your inhale, reach your arms high. As you exhale, hands come to prayer. We're gonna twist towards the left side of the body, letting our hands come down. Now inhale up to center. And when you exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, back to your center. And exhale, twisting to left. Inhale, reaching to sky. And exhale, twist to your right. Work through this on your breath, just bringing gentle twisting into the body. Last set here, so inhale up and exhale, twist to left. Inhale, reach to sky and exhale to your right. Inhale, reaching up, and we'll exhale, bringing arms down. Good. Coming up on the knees, just remove your prop, set that off to the side. Let's find our way back to the hands, to the knees. And we're gonna stretch out our shoulder space a little bit deeper. Thread the needle, if you're familiar with this posture in yoga. So we're gonna take our right hand out to the edge of our mat. Try to make sure that your knees stay directly below your hips, even when we come into this posture. So we're gonna inhale, reach your left arm out to a T. Find your exhale and thread your left arm underneath your right. So our left shoulder is gonna come down to the mat. Your head and your ear are gonna rest down, okay? This can be a little bit intense, so take a few moments, check in with the body, notice how it feels. Breathing out any tension from shoulders and from neck. If we feel like we have some more movement here, we could take our right arm, reach it up above your head. So the right palm would be facing the earth. Couple more breaths here. Exhale. If we have that right arm extended forward, let's bring our right hand back to the mat flat. Take your inhale, push into the right hand and lift the body. Good, we'll work to the other side. So left hand out to the edge of our mat. We'll inhale, right arm out to a T. As we exhale, threading the right arm underneath the left. The right and the left sides of the body are different, so notice how this side feels. Is it a little bit more relaxed and open? Couple of breaths here. Now maybe we extend that left arm up above the head, letting that left palm be flat on the floor. Connect to the breathing here. Remember the yogic breath, filling up on that inhale. And the exhale, we draw the belly button close into the spine and then drawing up. As we exhale, let's start to release the posture, lifting the body up as we inhale. Now let's exhale back into full Balasana, child's pose. So let your knees go wide. Let your toes come together, reach those arms forward. Let the body just rest down. Rest the forehead against your mat. Just let it sink in. And take a few breaths here, just connecting back to our practice. For a lot of us, the mind, I guarantee it started to wander. So some mind chatter might be coming in. Just make peace with those thoughts and bring yourself back to your practice. Notice maybe the sound of the breath to help you. And as you inhale, we'll rise up. Let's come back to our hands and our knees. Now, once you're here, we're going to breathe in. And we're going to exhale, lowering our body all the way down to the mat. Okay, so we're going to be flat on the tummy here. I want you to keep your hands flat on the mat, right by your shoulders and your chest. Hug your elbows in. As you inhale, we're going to come into Bhujangasana, Cobra. So inhale, very slowly, very small back bend here, just lifting up through that upper body. Exhale, we'll release back down. Inhale, rising up again. And exhale, release it down. One more time with Cobra posture, maybe coming up a little higher. And exhale, releasing down. Taking this a little further. So we're going to extend our arms forward. Okay. We're going to work into some modifications, or I shouldn't say modifications, but dynamic movements with locust posture. So let your head rest down, maybe just on your forehead. That's perfectly fine. Rest through your shoulders. As you inhale, lift your left leg and your right arm. And then exhale, bring everything down. Inhale, left arm up and right leg lifts. Exhale, release it down. Inhale, right arm and left leg lift. And exhale, releasing down. Inhale, left arm and right leg lift. And exhale, release it down. Couple more sets. Right arm and left leg lift as we inhale. Exhale, bring it down. Left arm, right leg lifts. Exhale and release. Last set. Right arm and left leg. And exhale, releasing down. Left arm, right leg. Exhale and release. Good. Hands by shoulders and chest. Hug the elbows in. Let's push all the way back into a child's pose. So toes together, knees wide, arms can be forward, rest through the shoulders. Sink the forehead into the mat. If the forehead can't get to the mat, that's okay. Don't stress about it. Just let it be what it is. Maybe put your pillow or your bolster underneath your head, or if you have a block or a book for your prop, maybe put that underneath the forehead. A few more breaths here. Noticing the inhale, do you feel it in the low back, right by the kidneys? Feeling that space expand with the breath. On the inhale, rising up. Let's go ahead and tuck our toes. We're going to come up into downward facing dog. So I want you to engage your core body. Take an inhale. Exhale. Then we draw the hips up and back. Okay? Now spread the fingers like a starfish. Root in on the inner part of the hand, the index finger and the thumb. And outward rotate your shoulders. You want to feel nice and supported from the shoulder space. Breathing nice and deep. Pardristi, which is the gazing point, set back through the knees or towards the navel. If your legs feel tight, maybe just bending knees one at a time. Try to concentrate on lengthening the low back, drawing up and back through the hip. Exhale, bend the knees. Let's bring them back down to the mat. Line up the body at all fours. Protract your shoulder blades, meaning draw them apart so that you feel supported. You don't want them to draw in towards each other. Let's take our right leg up. You can stretch it out straight back first. Then we're going to bend the right leg. See how my foot is pushing up towards the sky. And we're just going to do some glute work. So we're going to glute kick. So just pushing up and down with the foot. And breathe. Soften through the jaw and connect to the breath. Couple more. Now inhale, extend the right leg all the way back. Exhale and release it down. And we'll work to the other side. So first, extending left leg back, flex the foot, then bend the knee. So our foot should be flexed, the base of the foot or the bottom of the foot pushing towards the sky. Kicking with the glute. So glute kicks. So just lifting up and down, pressing up and down that foot towards the sky. Continue to breathe. Remember to lighten the load through the wrists. So push through the pads of the fingers. Couple more here. Extending left leg back. And exhale, release it in. Good. Maybe shake your hips out a little bit, side to side. Meeting back on all fours. Now we're going to take our right leg. Let's bring it out. So bend the right leg and lift it out to the right side. And this circular motion. Warming through hip. And then switch your direction. So counterclockwise and then clockwise. Once you're good, bring that right leg down. So just trying to warm up our hips a little bit, bringing some opening there. Switching to the left leg. So lift that left leg out to the left side, leg is bent. Circular motion with the left. Switch the direction. Check out your jaw. Are we tightening in that space? And releasing the left leg down, maybe moving a little side to side. We're gonna go a little further into shoulders from here. So grab your blocks if you have them, or maybe you have 2 books, okay? Set them side by side on the lowest setting. The low half of the body is going to be in child's pose with knees wide. We're going to bring our elbows onto our blocks. Hands are going to be in prayer. Take an inhale. Exhale, let your heart center drop, and let your head and neck relax. The hands will end up being above the head in prayer, and just breathe. Jaw at ease, breath and flow. The head here should not be resting on the block. So if you notice mine is resting all the way down on the mat. Exhale, extend your arms forward. Let your body kind of rest here for a moment. Inhale, we'll rise ourselves up. Let's set the blocks or your books off to the side. Come back to all fours. Breathe in. Exhale, we're going to release all the way back down to the tummy. Hug your elbows in as you do so and untuck your feet. Coming back through Bhujangasana, Cobra. So just start with resting your head down. Hug the elbows in towards the torso space. Take a full inhale and exhale. Inhale and lift the body just a little bit up. Exhale and release down. Inhale and lift. Exhale, releasing down. Inhale, again, Cobra. And exhale, releasing down. Good. Take a moment here. Hug those elbows in. Let's push all the way back to child's pose. Knees wide. Take a moment to connect back to breath. Notice the mind. How's it doing? Maybe bringing it back to that intention if we've lost it. Inhale, we'll rise up. Let's tuck our toes in, engaging the core body. Exhale, drawing hips up and back to downward facing dog. Soften the jaw, look back through the knees or towards the navel. It's like we're pushing the floor away from us here in downward facing dog. We don't want to have an extreme bend in the wrists. We want to try to flatten those wrists out as much as possible. If you want to bring movement into downward facing, maybe bend your legs one at a time. You could also inhale and rise onto your toes. And exhale, bringing heels towards the mat. Inhale, rising onto our toes. And exhaling, heels coming down. Find an exhale, bend the knees. Let's bring them down to the mat. Untuck your feet. We're gonna set up supported sphinx. So we'll need our props. So the way that I do this, and it's gonna be different depending on your body and your back. So I set one block on the low setting and one block's kind of resting on the other. And then you can take your bolster or your pillow and set like this, okay? So it's like you've got a complete support system here. What we're gonna do is lower ourselves onto the props. Our forearms are gonna rest on the mat. And see how I've got the shoulder stacked directly above the elbow. That's what we want. Just let your palms be flat. You could rest your head how it's comfortable here. Some might like to just have their chin on their pillow, maybe head off to one side. So just kind of feel how the posture is showing up in the physical body. How does it feel? If you're getting tension through the low back, there's a couple things we can do here. Maybe don't go as high, okay? So maybe we kind of take this middle block out so we're a little bit lower, okay, with the bend. You could also widen your feet out. And also, please make sure that you're relaxing through your glute space and down the low half of the body. And just check in with your breathing. If you have your head rested to one side of your pillow, move it over to the opposite side. And remember, we don't want to sink through our shoulders, so we want to open up through the shoulder space, drawing shoulders down and back. Couple more breaths. Okay, we're gonna start to slowly come out of the posture. So take your time, use your hands, bring them flat on the mat, push yourself up. Just kind of draw your hips back first. Sink all the way back to Balasana, Child's Pose. Take a few breaths here, breathing into that low back. Now on the inhale, we'll rise up. Come to the hands and the knees. Let's take down our little build here of props. We're gonna tuck our toes, engaging our core, hips up and back, downward face. Sit bones like magnets to the sky. And deep breaths. As you exhale, look up towards your hands, bend your knees, and step up towards the hands. We're going to set our feet into Tadasana, hips distance apart. Take an inhale, lengthen through your spine and shine your heart. Exhale, folding. Head and neck relaxed. Find an inhale, slowly making your way up. So one vertebrae at a time. Maybe our arms reach all the way up with us. And we exhale, hands to prayer. We're going to come into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. Simple way to get there. Just step your right leg back and keep your left foot forward. Now take a minute and look at your alignment. So you want an invisible line from our left heel all the way to the middle of the right foot. And just kind of diagonal your right foot in slightly. Check the alignment of your hips. Bring your arms out to a T. Let's rest our shoulders. Look over your left fingers. Breathe in. Find an exhale. We're going to 90-degree bend into our left knee. So if you can see here, knee directly above our ankle. So we don't want to overbend and we don't want to be back here like this. Okay, so 90-degree bend in the leg. Draw your torso back a little bit so that your spine is nice and long and tall. Shoulders are down, and let's just breathe here. For me, I have an issue where I like to kind of anterior rotate the pelvis, which causes a little bit of issues with low back pain. So try to remind yourself to tuck the pelvis in here. Don't let it flare out. Couple more breaths. Soften through your toes and make sure you're heavily rooted through the four corners of the feet. Okay, on an inhale, we're going to bring some movement into Virabhadrasana 2. So we're going to inhale, straighten the leg and reach arms high. Exhale, coming back into the posture. Inhale, reaching up. And exhale, bending in. Inhale, reach it up. And exhale, 90-degree bend to the leg. Now just move with your breath. So inhale it up. And exhale, we bend. Couple more. And exhale. Now exhale and let everything release. So let your arms come down, straighten your leg, rotate your left foot in, and we'll just move to the other side of the body with Warrior Two. In yoga, we do everything on both sides. So open up the right foot. Rotate your left toes in slightly, kind of diagonal that left foot in. Look at your alignment. So right heel lines up with the middle of the back foot. Arms to a T. Rest your shoulders. Look over your right side. So glancing over your right fingers. Take your inhale. Exhale, we move. So 90-degree bend into the right leg. Check your alignment out. Draw your torso back a little bit so that you're not leaning forward like this and you're not leaning back like this, okay? We want a nice, tall, straight spine. Couple breaths. Soft through your toes and root through the four corners of the feet. Now bringing in some movement here. Inhale, reaching up, leg straightens. And exhale, we bend. Inhale, reaching it up. And exhale, bending it. Inhale and reach it up. And exhale, bending it. Couple more. Last one. Now exhale, release everything up. Rotate your right foot in. Just walk your feet together so you gain some balance. And we'll bring our feet to about hips distance on the mat. We call this Tadasana. peel your shoulders down and back. Allow your heart to shine, and let's just breathe in mountain posture. So lift through the heart center, drop the chin in slightly, close the eyes, unlock the knees, and just breathe here. Maybe imagining light shining from heaven or from the sky, coming down through the crown of the head and just shining all the way down through your body, filling you up with love and with light. And when you inhale, open the eyes, reach the arms up. And let's exhale, keeping our arms in line with our ears, coming all the way down to forward fold, Uttanasana. Head and neck relax. Find the inhale. Let's lengthen through the spine, shine the heart and look up. Come to your hands, come to your knees. Take your time. Line up the body here. Wrists below shoulders, knees below hips. Find an inhale. And exhale to cat. So let's round the spine up. Tuck the tailbone, tuck the chin. Neutral spine on inhale. And exhale, sink it back to Balasana, Child's Pose. Jaw at ease, rest the shoulders. Connect back to the Ujjayi Pranayama, the breath. And notice how the mind is doing. Are we still rooted on the intention? If not, just bring yourself back to the present moment. Inhale, rise up. Bring your toes in. Exhale, hips up and back, downward face. Few breaths here, really lengthening through the spine, strong through the shoulders. Notice that drishti, or your gazing point. Remember, it's back through the knees or towards the navel, and also remember it's relaxed. So your eyelids are soft, okay? We don't want to put strain in the eye.